who must look deep within himself and struggle with what he discovers. Listen well, and we will tell you all.
Our story takes place in the 13th century, a strange time in Denmark. Just 2 months ago, the king had died. A serpent stung him as he slept, or so everyone believes. The king's death left Hamlet without a father and the queen without a husband. But almost before the funeral was over, Claudius, the dead king's brother, married Hamlet's mother, Queen Gertrude. There is much gossip about these events, and Hamlet is very upset.
Right now, in a room in the royal castle, Hamlet is talking with his friend Horatio in mourning for his father. Hamlet is dressed all in black. Horatio has just arrived in the castle.
What brings you here, Horatio?
Mere laziness, my lord. I've had enough of college.
Speak the truth, my dear friend. I know you're not lazy.
I came for your father's funeral.
Don't mock me, Horatio. You came for my mother's wedding.
It did happen one right after the other.
They saved money that was, Horatio. The leftovers from the funeral reception became food for the wedding. I'll never let the father's wedding again.
My lord, I think I saw him last night.
My father, but he's dead.
Listen, Lord, I'll tell you what's happening. First, let me call Bernardo and Marcy first.
Bernardo and Marcy come in.
2 nights in a row, Bernardo and Marcy saw you walking back and forth as they guarded the palace grounds.
They look just like your father, from his face to his clothes.
The next night, I went on their watch with them, and I saw the ghost with my own eyes. It was your father.
It's very strange.
But it's the truth.
Would you be on the watch tonight?
We will, my lord.
I will go with you. Perhaps the ghost will appear again.
It is midnight. Hamlet is on the castle guard castle with Marcy, Bernardo, and Horatio. They're waiting for the ghost of Hamlet's father.
Amber's shopkeep. It is very cold. What time is it?
I think it's just before midnight.
No, 12 is struck.
Suddenly, the ghost appears.
Look, my lord, it comes!
God defend us, whether you are spirit from heaven or a goblin from hell. I will speak to you. Oh, answer me. Tell me why you've come from the grave.
The ghost motions to Hamlet to follow him.
Beckons you to go away with it, as if he wants to speak to you alone.
Don't go!
If you want to hear, I have to follow.
Hamlet follows the ghost a short distance from his friend.
Stop, ghost. I won't follow you any farther.
Listen to me. My time is almost up. Soon I must return to the palace of purgatory.
Alas, poor ghost.
Do not pity me. You must listen. And after you hear what I have to say, you must take revenge.
What?
I am your father's spirit. If you ever loved your father, revenge is found in unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul. Here's the truth, noble youth. The serpent that did steal your father's life always is come.
I knew it was so. My uncle killed my father?
Yes, he put poison in my ears instead, and he stole my wife, Queen.
By all that's sacred to me, I will take revenge. I swear.
Whatever you do, do not harm your mother. Let her to be dealt by heaven and your own conscience. But now morning is almost upon us. I must go. Goodbye, goodbye, remember me.
Hamlet walks back in the direction of his friends. Horatio, Marcy, and Bernardo rush to his side, begging him to tell him what has happened. Now Hamlet refuses and insists that they swear never to reveal that they have seen the ghost.
Swear upon my sword.
Swear!
Swear!
Horatio, I cannot tell you what the spirit has said, but I will tell you that I plan to behave strangely for a while. Although I may seem crazy, I am not. Remember that. Pretending I'm insane is the only way I can hide my feelings and figure out what I'm going to do.
Horatio and the guards leave.
For all freedom, please let me hear from you. Do you doubt I will? And as for Hamlet, do not take him seriously. Perhaps he loves you now, but he must realize the king is position. His crown prince, his life on. Be careful with him. I'll keep your advice in mind.
Polonius, Diotes and Ophelia's father, enters. He's known for his long speeches and his constant scheming.
Still here, ladies! Get going! The ship is about to sail. I have but only one word of advice for you. Listen to every man, but tell other men little. Neither a borrower nor a lender. To thine own self be true.
I understand, father, but I must go now. Ophelia, remember what I told you.
Diotes leaves.
What did Larry say to you?
He spoke of Lord Hamlet.
You must be careful with Hamlet. What is going on between you? Give me the truth.
He had offered his love to me.
Love? Who? You don't believe me, do you?
I don't know what to believe.
He is not sincere. Cannot be. He's too powerful to be serious about a girl who's not of royal blood. From now on, do not speak to him. This is an order.
I shall obey him.
It is 2 months later. A Ophelia is taking her father's advice and has ignored Hamlet's advances.
How Ophelia? What is the matter?
It's Lord Hamlet. I'm frightened.
What has he done?
I was sewing in my room, and he came in looking as white as his pale shirt, as pale as his white shirt, and as if he hadn't bathed in a month. Then he took me by my wrist, stared at me for a long time, and shuffled out of the room. I have never seen him in such a state.
He is mad for your love. Have you spoken to him harshly lately?
No, I just took your advice and refused to see him.
Polonius stops fit. The king and queen have been concerned because Hamlet has been acting so strangely, almost insane. This could be the reason.
Perhaps I had erred. He may have been sincere about his love. Come, we must tell the king about this.
Polonius goes to the palace to tell the king about Hamlet's strange behavior toward Ophelia and to give him his theory about Hamlet's insanity.
Dear Gertrude, Polonius tells me he has found the source of his son's odd behavior.
It is nothing but the obvious. His father's death and our hasty marriage.
Polonius, what is your theory? Dear sir and man, since brevity is the soul of wit, I will be brief. Your son is mad. Mad I call it, for to define true madness. But what is it to be anything else but mad? Let that go.
More matter of less art. Get on with it, Polonius.
Hamlet has fallen in love with Ophelia, and will let her read to prove it. How she received his love? At first she loved him in return, but I, as any good father will, ordered her to stop. I told her, Lord Hamlet is a prince, far above your rank. This must not be. Because she spurned him, he became insane as he is today. Could this be it?
It may very well be.
How can we test this further? You know that sometimes Hamlet paces this hallways for hours at a time? Yes, indeed. On one of those times, I will send a few into you. You and I will hide behind the wall here. And if you decide he hasn't gone crazy for love, dismiss me as your advisor.
The next day, Polonius and the king hide behind the hanging, ready to spy on Hamlet and Ophelia. Hamlet is pacing the hallway alone. He is in anguish, running with his father's ghost, real or dream, wondering if he will ever get the nerve to kill the king, and fearing that suicide is the only way to escape his problems.
To be or not to be, that is the question. For there is no man of mind to suffer the sins and errors of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, but by opposing and them. To die, to sleep, perhaps to dream, but that is the love, and the sleep of death, what dreams may come. Thinking like this turns every man into a coward. Every choice seems bad when I brood about it, and in the end, I'm paralyzed, unable to do anything about it.
Just then, Ophelia arrives.
Hello, Ophelia.
My good lord, how have you been?
Good of you to ask. Fine, fine.
My lord, I came to return the gifts you've given me. Please take them.
Ophelia tries to hand Hamlet some jewelry, but he refuses to take it.
No, I've not given you anything.
But you did, and as you did, you said such sweet things that made the gifts even more beautiful.
You know, Ophelia, I did love you once.
Yes, my lord, you made me believe you did.
You should have believed me. Goodness can't overcome our sinful nature. I loved you not.
I was deceived then.
Go to a nunnery. Do you want to give birth to sinners? Even I, myself, a rather honest person, can accuse myself of so many crimes that it would have been better if my mother had never given birth to me. Go to a nunnery. What's your father, by the way?
At home, my lord.
Then let him be locked in there, so he can play a fool only in his own house. Goodbye.
Hamlet storms out of the room, suspects that the meeting was a setup. He's sorry to have hurt Ophelia's feelings, but he feels he has to keep up his false insanity.
Heaven help him! His great mind has been destroyed. This youth that everyone adored had been lost to us forever.
Clearly from the king come out.
It is clear that Hamlet's madness comes from something other than love. It is dangerous to have around, I agree.
Following evening. In the afternoon, the royal family saw a play. Hamlet had secretly arranged for the actors to recreate the murder of Hamlet's father on the stage. In the months since Hamlet met his father's ghost, he had begun to doubt the reality of the vision. He wondered if he was really losing his mind. Hamlet thought he could figure out if his uncle had reacted to seeing the murder acted out. The king had a violent reaction to the murder scene. This convinced Hamlet, once and for all, that what the ghost had said was correct. The king killed him. Hamlet now knows he must take his revenge soon or betray his promise to his father. The king is alone in a room in the royal palace, reeling from the shock of seeing his crime recreated on stage.
My crime crime is horrible. I've murdered my brother, and I can't ask God for forgiveness for the sin because I still have what I gained from it. My crown, my wife, my own ambition. Will God forgive me for the murder if I keep all these things? I must give it a try.
The king kneels to pray. Hamlet enters and sees him on his knees.
I could kill him now, but if I murder him while he's praying, he'll go straight to heaven. What kind of revenge is that? No,